Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. On this part of the cricket show, it's going to be the second day's play in the first test match between West Indies and Sri Lanka, where the Sri Lankans were bowled out for 185 and they conceded a lead of 229 runs, and the West Indians were really in the box seat as they closed the day. In fact, they actually this was the one that I was talking about. Was today was not the second day, but was the third day's play in this particular match, which I was talking about. So between West Indies and Sri Lanka, which is the third day of the first Test match between Sri Lanka and the West Indies, where the West Indies were placed at 131 for 4, but they have nothing to worry about. The pitch is definitely showing signs of turn as well, and probably there's a bit of threat of rain as well. But West Indies 131 for 4 were 360 runs ahead with 6 wickets still intact. So definitely it's West Indies dictating terms to Sri Lanka. I will be looking into that particular match and on the third day's play. And also we'll have a look at some cricket news. We had some sensational cricket news coming in as far as New Zealand is concerned. We are talking about the New Zealand women's cricket team, which the New Zealand smashed, something that has not been done in ODIs in women's cricket. 490 runs were smashed, but they made a record-breaking 490 runs, and then they crushed Ireland by bowling them out for 144. Such was the fury of the New Zealand batting. I'm talking about the New Zealand women's cricket team. Now, that is something. To score 490 in ODI was something unbelievable by a women's cricket team. So now, and also, there's some cricket news as well which I can look at. I know, dear fans, my throat is sore. Probably you're not enjoying my broadcast because of my sound box. But as I said, cricket is very dear to me. I come to it every time. So let's talk about the game now, and let's look at what happened. So Sri Lanka resumed their innings yesterday, where they were struggling at 31 for 3 with Dinesh Chandimal and Roshan Silva at the crease. But Roshan Silva was the first wicket today. It was done by Kemar Roche. Kemar Roche got a ball which shaped onto the leg stump, and Roshan Silva shaping to flick the delivery, completely lost it, and he was clean bowled by Kemar Roche for 5 with 1 boundary. In walked in Niroshan Dikwala, so that made the score 43 for 3. And in walked in Niroshan Dikwala, the last of the recognized batsmen, to join Dinesh Chandimal at the crease. Now, Dinesh Chandimal and Dikwala, slowly, Dikwala actually, as you know, he normally he's a guy who likes to get on with the game, but today, knowing the situation, he buckled down well as he started playing some good defense strokes and basically not attempting any rash strokes. At the other end, it was Dinesh Chandimal. Once the early swing was over for the West Indian bowlers in the morning, slowly the pitch started to ease up, and Dinesh Chandimal played a few good shots as well. As this partnership, which definitely all the focus was on this partnership, because after that there was not going to be any recognized batsman to follow. So what Niroshan Dikwala and Chandimal did well was to chisel together a partnership by playing very, very sedately, and which was the order of the day, and they actually eked out some 78 good runs uh, to take the score on to 121. But that was the time Dinesh Chandimal's wicket was gone. Now Dinesh Chandimal, Chandimal had actually hit Gabriel through the point region for 4, and now he was in the next over. He attempted one more, which he tried to thrash it through the point region, tried to cut Gabriel through the point region, but he could not keep the ball down. And Roston Chase at backward point brought a good catch, and Chandimal was on his way back to the pavilion. Caught Chase bowled Gabriel for 44 with 5 boundaries. Dikwala was still there at the centre, holding the hopes for for Sri Lanka to probably get on to that immediate mark, which was 214, to avoid a follow on. So Dilruwan Pereira joined him, and Dilruwan Pereira, and he added 19 runs for the 6th wicket before a misunderstanding happened between Dikwala and Dilruwan Pereira, which resulted in Niroshan Dikwala getting run out. Brathwaite fielded superbly, and in one motion threw down the stumps, with Dikwala ambling towards his crease, and Dikwala was gone, run out for 31 with 3 boundaries. So that made it 140 for 6, and after that it was going to be very difficult. It was Dilruwan Pereira's wicket was taken by Devendra. Before Dilruwan Pereira, Herath was the next wicket, and then Cummins got into the act. So Bishu took the wicket of Pereira for 20 with 1 4 and 1 6. But after that, it was all about Cummins. Cummins serves a barrage of short deliveries to the tail-enders. Rangana Herath was consumed for 5. Lakmal also went for 15 to the bowling of Cummins with 1 4 and 1 6. And Kumara also left the scene. The last man out, caught Dowdage bowled Cummins for 8 with 2 boundaries, leaving Gamage not out on not. And that was the story of the Sri Lankan first innings. 185 all out, conceding a lead of 229 runs to the West Indies. If you look at the bowling, Kemar Roche bowled superbly, 10 overs, 3 minutes, 2 for 34. Shannon Gabriel, 13 overs, 2 for 48. But Miguel Cummins totally cleaned up the Sri Lankan tail with his short deliveries. 12.4 overs, 4 maidens, 39 runs and 3 wickets for Miguel Cummins. Jason Holder, 7 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 15. And Devendra Bishu, 13 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 25. And also one discerned that there was a bit of turn in the pitch as well. And as West Indies came out to resume their second innings. Now there were 229 runs with their noses in front, the West Indies, as the openers Brathwaite and Devon Smith got into the centre. It all started off with Brathwaite and Devon Smith. Brathwaite, they decided to, Devon Smith played his strokes, but the first wicket to go was Devon Smith's wicket. Now Devon Smith actually got a ball from Lakmal, which was basically, it was not a good shot because it was well outside the off stump, and it was a full and wide delivery from Suranga Lakmal, and Devon Smith was not even to the pitch of the ball, and he tried to cream it through the covers, and in the process an inside edge followed on and hit his stumps, and that was the end of Devon Smith. Clean bowl by Lakmal for 20 with 3 boundaries. Kieron Powell came in and joined Brathwaite at that stage, and they pushed the score on to 55, and that was the time Lairu Kumara was into the bowling act, and he picked up the wicket of Craig Brathwaite. Craig Brathwaite, again, once more, first it was Devon Smith playing a loose shot, now the other opener Brathwaite also played a loose shot. Actually, this was a ball which was well outside the off stump, and he was trying to just play it through the square region, but Lairu Kumara is a very quick bowler, so his pace really beat him, and it was not a good shot at all. It was technically a very wrong shot. He played away, his hands was well away from his body, as he said, as we all say in cricket, he played away from his body, and that was it. It was Dikwala had taken had snaffled it onto his right side, snaffled the catch on the right side. So he was gone, and the score read 55 for 2. And now Kieran Powell was at the crease, and he was joined in, and one saw that Kieran Powell was Kieran Powell was playing with lots of freedom. He was stroking the ball to a nicety, and he was screaming boundaries. He was very strong on the offside, played some handsome strokes through the offside, and he also lofted the spinners for sixes as well. So he was looking in some sublime touch, Kieran Powell, and he was the one who was really making the Sri Lankans, the West Indian scoreboard move. And then Lairu Kumara once again got into the act, and this time he dismissed the shy hope. Now this was a ball. Now again, the problem happens to be for the West Indies that if you look at the stroke making that they have been playing some silly strokes. Again, this was a ball which was on a length outside the off stump, and this was Shy Hope, their best player, actually playing away from his body. And if you have someone who is bowling with Lairu Kumara's pace, I think to play away from his body could prove pretty catastrophic, and that's what Pripil definitely proved. It was a good catch, but one has to really give the credit to Kushal Mendes, who took a beauty of a catch at second slip as he jumped to his right side, and the ball was actually going over his head, and he actually caught it. So that was a good catch, and Shy Hope was gone. Caught Mendes, bowled Kumara for 1. So that made the score 75 for 3, but it was Kieran Powell who was keeping it going, playing some beautiful strokes, and then Roston Chase. It was the turn of Roston Chase to lose his wicket, but for a change, we saw that the wicket that Roston Chase was out to was to the spin bowler Rangana Herath. Now this was a time when probably discerned that there was some turn in the pitch. Now the ball that Rangana Herath bowled to Roston Chase the ball probably did not rise up to the expectations for Roston Chase, and it went on to hit the stumps. It hit this pad, so it ricocheted on the pad and went into the stumps. It probably was a skidder from Rangana Herath, in fact, but as I said, basically Roston Chase should have, it was a skidder, so basically he should have probably gone forward to play it. Instead he tried to play it by going on his back foot and paid the penalty. And so the score at 119 for 4, but Kieran Powell was still there, powering his way with some nice strokes as Shane Dowrich walked in. And at stumps, finally when stumps were drawn for the day, the West Indian score read 131 for 4. Kieran Powell, as I said, was a very superb knock that he played. He was unbeaten on 64 with 6 fours and 2 sixes. And Shane Dowrich, the first inning century maker, was not out on 11 with 1 boundary. And West Indies are leading by 360 runs. As I said, it is going to be a very, very difficult effort for Sri Lanka to save this. As I said, the ball, there is some turn as well available. And as you know, there is West Indian leg spinner Devendra Bishu, who can definitely exploit those foot marks and also exploit the little turn that is available in the pitch. The bowling, Lakmal 8 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 25. Gamage 8 overs, 2 maidens, none for 23. Rangana Herath 11 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 22. Lairu Kumara 5 overs, 2 for 28. 8 overs, none for 27. The only bet that I would probably say here is that since the ball is started turning, it would be worthwhile to actually give a trundle to Rangana Herath first up tomorrow morning, and keep one pace bowler at the other end and see whether Rangana Herath can really come up with his bag of tricks, and with the turn which is afforded on the pitch, whether he could dislodge the West Indian batsman, and probably the Sri Lankans would probably chase fewer runs than what they would be chasing. So that's the only best bet that I could really look at. There is still some good batting to come for the West Indies, older Bishu. So they would probably, right now they are 360 runs in front. They would probably like to set a target of probably 500 odd to Sri Lanka, which really makes it very impossible for Sri Lanka. Well, dear fans, so that is as far as that particular match is concerned. Now let's get on to some cricket news. As I said, the sensational cricket news was coming in from the New Zealand's women tour of England and Ireland and England at Dublin. It was the first ODI where the New Zealand women's cricket team smashed all the records in ODIs in women's cricket when they raised up a record-breaking score of 490 runs for 4 wickets, and the Irish women were looking like women's cricket team was looking like sitting ducks as they were bowled out for 144 in 35.3 overs. There were 2 players who smashed centuries. One was Susie Bates and the other was Maddie Green. Other than that, any cricket news? And to score 490, and that's on a women's cricket team, 490 is really, really very, very tall score according to me. So credit to this New Zealand team for achieving having a monumental achievement here. And also, as you know, in Canada, from where I'm broadcasting right now, we are going to have the T20 league, which is going to be the first time ever a T20 league, and I'm told this T20 league is going to be a continuing process. It has been there is someone who has come forward to actually have a contract, probably get this thing running to really boost the cricket in Canada for probably a long time. And so it's going to be very interesting, the Canada T20 league, which one is looking forward to. And there's a lot of money in stake as well, let me tell you, dear fans and subscribers. Other than that, dear fans and subscribers, I have nothing else to really talk about. That's about it as far as today's cricket show goes. With more cricket coming your way tomorrow. That's on my next Cricket Happening show. That's on a Saturday. It's time to say good night to you all, dear fans and subscribers. Thank you.